Hi, everybody. Welcome to Game Changerz. Mike and Kelley Kellner, and we are talking about the NHL because the season kicked off this week, and it's an interesting season to say the least. Washington Capitals defending their title. The question is, do they have enough? They certainly look good on opening night. Do they have enough to rebound? Because they partied pretty darn hard.
Yeah, they sure did. Yeah, hell of a start. There's some really good betting opportunities. When you come to look at the start of the season and all the way through the season, Vegas has lines up where you can bet on odds to win the Stanley Cup, but also odds to win the conference. And what was interesting last year is I had a number of friends just who lived in Vegas, decided they were going to get behind the team. So they went out, and they put their money on Vegas, 10,000 to 1, or the big odds. What was interesting is you want to take a look in some opportunities to bet at a conference win, because not that many of those people that bet the Golden Knights to win the Cup also bet the conference, which was a winner and quite substantial. So a lot of things you want to really take a look at and be strategic with when you're picking some of your long-term season prop bets.
Right. It's going to be interesting because looking at the list that we've got here for you, Tampa Bay. I think Winnipeg is a team that you really have to watch. They are deep. They can score. They can play defense. They've got Blake Wheeler. They've got Sheffley. They've got it all. And one of the best goaltenders in Connor Hellebuyck. That looks to be a tough team. Further down the line, and I don't agree with this one, is the San Jose Sharks. With Erik Karlsson there, again, this can be a pretty steady team. That defensive core and what they can do scoring, wow.
Yeah, great ones to bet on in a game by game throughout the season, but just, the last few years in the playoffs. One I really like that's at the top of the list, and one of the ones that's favored in Vegas is the Nashville Predators. Now, that was a team, that was a go-to team in hockey. If you were betting them minus a goal and a half, if you were betting their games over, Vegas was another team, of course, last year that was just a consistent winner. And you want to look for trends as the season goes on. I remember a couple of years ago, the Calgary Flames had the stats as the highest winning percentage when down going into the third period. And if you look at live betting and if you look at the number of options that a lot of the online betting sites have these days, big money. So want to be really, really strategic in looking at how you're looking to basically bust that book with some good money advantages.
In Toronto, they are already planning the Stanley Cup parade.
I got my tickets.
With John Tavares playing there, they think they're going to automatically win the Stanley Cup. But the thing with Toronto, you still have the same defense that you had last year. And they give up way too many shots, and you saw what happened in the playoffs. They were giving up at least 4 goals a game. The Vegas Knights, it's going to be interesting, not as good, but they've made some additions. They've lost some people. I still think they'll be an interesting hockey club. One team that's not on that list, the Edmonton Oilers. Now, think back, at the start of last year, everyone was picking them to be in the Stanley Cup final against Pittsburgh. And, of course, they had that lousy season. They still have the best player in the league. Absolutely. So I think you have to take that into consideration. But the West is going to be very tough. And when you bang up on each other, you lose points.
Absolutely.
It's a deep conference, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So, just looking at the list here from Vegas, the 4 top teams looking at that are the favorites to win the Stanley Cup are Tampa Bay, the Winnipeg Jets, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Nashville Predators. So who, Mike, is your pick to see in the Stanley Cup finals in this season?
So many things come into play because of injuries, but I'm going with the Winnipeg Jets taking on Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is just so deep. They had a taste of it last year. They could be the Montreal Expos of hockey, though, being so close so many times and not ever win it. Mm-hmm. But I think they're going to be in the final against Winnipeg. I love Winnipeg, and I love Blake Wheeler. 40 points last year on the power play alone. Yeah. So that guy's a tough guy.
Well, I'm going with a dream matchup for the Stanley Cup Finals, and that's the Boston Bruins and the Winnipeg Jets. That is, I'll go to every game, and I've got some friends that are coming with me, a couple of our fans that we've seen on our social media feeds, Robert Rothenberg there, and our own very own Mike Lonsborough, big Boston Bruin fans. So I'm on your side this year. I'm taking some prop bets for that. Sleeper team. Watch for the Dallas Stars. I got, and I'm quoting a a good friend of mine, Brandon May. He's a huge Dallas Stars fan. He pulled me aside and he says, "Listen, you watch those Dallas Stars this year." So Brandon, that's a little shout out to you, and hope that your team comes good. And let's just watch how this season unfolds. It's going to be an exciting year. I'm looking forward to it.
Pass me that joint.
Oh, that's just it's a fake joint. It's just